Alright, hi guys, Brian here, and today I want to give you my quick impressions on the Transformers Combiner Wars drag strip figure. So, here he is. He's a sports car, or a race car, I mean. Very nice hiding of kibble undercarriage. I can't really see anything other than the blatant head that he has sitting right there. So, pretty good all mode, I think. He rolls just fine. You know, when he's not on a curved surface, which my little platform here kind of is. I am perfectly okay with this all mode. This is a pretty good looking all mode. Let's go ahead and bring his Stunticon brothers in arms together, shall we? And bam, there's his there's all the Stunticons together. And this is a nice looking team, I gotta say. This is just, I dig the Decepticon cars. I dig that. I think I'm at a loss for words. I just like these. These guys look good together. Scale wise, they're all roughly the same size. Dragstrip is the longest because of his little nose here, but if you pull that back to get a more sense of scale, you know, they all are basically the same size roughly. So, oops, especially with the Offroad here, they all scale pretty decently together, and I like them together. This is a cool looking group to me. But for some other size comparisons, let's go ahead and bring in the ubiquitous Bombshell, who, you know, is rather small compared to him. Aw, how cute. And because I have them at hand, there's Transformers Prime, First Edition Optimus Prime, one of my favorite Optimuses that I own. Significantly different in size, although the scale seems to be decently sized. You know, I could buy someone sitting in there and then sitting in there. Kinda. Close enough. Bam! Chromia. She's still here. She's still a pretty, decent size comparison. Bam! Windblade. Because I had her out. Jet and dragstrip car don't scale well together at all. And speaking of not scaling well together at all, here is Air Raid, the Aerialbot. Another airplane who does not scale well at all with a sports car. Not sports car, race car. But, yeah. As for what he comes with, he's got the standard Combiner Wars fist foot gun thing. Looks okay. Love these hands. He's also got an unpainted sword, which I'm very tempted to start painting at some point when I, you know, actually get around to doing some of that stuff. For storage, basically the only storage he has is that little port right there on the gun. Can plug into that port there, post there, and look kind of silly. So it looks kind of silly. And the only place for the sword to go that I've found, anyway, is either, you know, sticking out the butt, which looks dumb, or sticking out the side in some fashion, which also looks dumb. So basically I'm not really like super enthused with the weapon storage on these guys. And in order just to keep everything all together, I, you know, do this. I put the hand in the, or put the sword in the hand and then put it off screen. But there is his vehicle mode. What do you say we go ahead and get him into robot mode and see how he looks there, shall we? Let's do. Wait for it. Wait for it. Do. So here it is back in robot mode. Drag strip is pretty interesting. Get up close on the head sculpt for you. I kind of actually dig this head sculpt. It looks... Focus. Come on, guys. Focus. There you go. He looks cool. It looks interesting. It looks like a unique head sculpt. I love the things under his eyes. That's just cool to me. Let's go ahead and get his compatriots in here for the size comparison real quick, and see how the team looks together in robot mode. Ta-da! Here is the Stunticons, all together, missing their new Legend scale buddy, but it is a pretty good looking team. I mean, look at that. That is just a group of guys I wouldn't want to mess with. These guys just, I don't think there's anything that these guys could do better to me. Really. Well, no, there is definitely stuff they can do better. But for what I've gotten, I am satisfied with these guys. So these guys scale pretty darn well together. They look good all in robot mode. They're about the same size. Motormaster is like almost twice as big, so that's kind of what you should expect with a Voyager. I'm good with these guys. They look good to me. For another size comparison, let's go ahead and throw in first edition Transformers Prime, Optimus Prime, my favorite Earth mode Optimus that I have. And they look pretty decently scaled together too, for robot mode anyway. Optimus is bigger and more impressive, and Dragstrip is just kind of there. Okay. We've also got the standard Chromia. They're about the same size. I'm okay with that. We've got Windblade, who's a prominent feature in the comic book still. I'm okay with this too. Robot mode scale is okay with me. I would prefer her to be drastically bigger since she's supposed to be a jet. And specifically an Earth mode jet, apparently, because that's what she looks like. So I'd rather jets be bigger. And hey, speaking of jets being bigger, here's Air Raid, who should be, use some force perspective, maybe about this, or something, at least closer to this. So, I don't know. I'm picky. I like, if they were Cybertronian vehicles, I'd be perfectly happy with these, because then it's just a matter of their culture, and Anyway, I'm getting on a soapbox. I'm okay with the scale. Well enough, I guess. And of course, here's Bombshell, who is still a tiny little guy. Yeah, I'm small, I'm an insect, you can ignore me, I'm gonna mind control you. Bye! Alright, so we've got his articulation now to go over. His head is on a very, very tight ball joint. He fights me whenever I try to manipulate his head. It's also on this hinge for transformation that doesn't really lock down at all, so he just kind of ends up going, a lot. His arms are on this rotation thing and on a ball joint, so they can go very, very well, and they don't really smack his head at all. It's cut very well, so that you don't have to worry about that. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got a 90-degree elbow joint. He's got a erased shrivel. No, his just wrist goes in and out. I don't understand why this couldn't be a ball joint. I don't understand that. He has a waist joint because he can turn into an arm. He has ball jointed hips, so he can do, well, go out about, he can't go out that far, okay. Forward, backwards, thigh swivel, 90-degree knee. If you want to count this as a toe, this can do that. And I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like that way for vehicle mode or not, or rather, robot mode or not. Like, if these are supposed to be his feet. Not sure. I don't think so. Especially since I just realized that with like this, he now has wheels as bottom of his feet, and he slides, so I don't think so. Now I try it out. Of course, he can hold his weapons. Hold a sword in his hand, which is difficult to do with one hand to get in there. Fine, I will acquiesce, and there you go. Alright, now to hold his foot gun hand thing. These weapons don't really work, I don't think, as weapons. Because, yeah, how the heck am I supposed to, like, pretend that makes sense? Like that, I guess? That looks just at an odd angle. I don't know. I don't really like these things as weapons, so I tend to just take them off and put them on. But mounting them on shoulders does, kind of work, because that, is sort of like mortar bombardment, like, haha, I can shoot you from far away, and it'll arc. Not in that arc, though. So, weapons are done. So, for my final thoughts on the guy, I'm going to go ahead and say that my final thoughts on the guy are pretty positive. He's not my favorite of the Stunticons. He's kind of mediocre. Not satisfied with how far his elbow can bend. I don't really understand why this couldn't be a ball joint wrist swivel. His legs compact like this for transformation, and they kind of like to not lock in very well, so I'm occasionally having to pull it out. His head kind of like comes up, like I said, too easily. He's got a little bit of a backpack. But his transformation is kind of fun. And I kind of dig his color scheme. The combiner port thing blends in well with his torso since in G1 he had a engine block on his chest. I have seen people paint this yellow with leaving this little bit here gray, and to be honest, that looks better. But I'm okay. I still am fascinated how these combiner ports blend in so well. But I dig this guy well enough. Like, if this was the only figure I bought from Combiner Wars, I probably wouldn't have been super impressed. But as a member of the team, I'm satisfied with him. I like him. I think he looks good. Has some nice color variety, vehicle mode variety. I'm glad to have this guy. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments or questions, I'd be loving to hear what you guys have to say about Combiner Wars, IUW comics, basically anything you guys want to talk about. Drop me a line. See ya!